Susan, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you talking to us today about something you call an epidemic. This has gone from just, oh, we shouldn't have too much sugar in our drinks to what you're calling an epidemic. What has prompted use of that word when it comes to sweetened drinks?
It is not unusual to find even infants with sweet tea or sports beverages or regular sodas in their bottles. And so we've kind of grown up or have developed a group of young people who are accustomed to intensely sweetened beverages. And the fact that you become so attuned to those intensely sweet beverages becomes a problem, because then the flavor of water, for example, is not desirable any longer. And so if we can encourage parents, if we can encourage adults to really try to reduce the consumption of the sweetened beverages, it in turn saves a lot of calories. And then also for our patients and the general public who is managing blood sugar issues such as diabetes, that helps them to better manage their blood sugars.
And it's not just weight. You might think, well, now if you want to lose some weight, cut down on your sugar. I'm sure that's still sound advice.
Right.
But there are many other, you mentioned diabetes, but there are other things, dental health, other health-related issues to too much sugar in your body.
Exactly. And when you, for example, when you consume a soda, think about what you like to eat when you drink a soda. None of us craves an apple or a banana or orange when we drink a soda. Rather, we want the salty snack foods that also have an excess of calories, and so therefore you get a double whammy.
Do you recommend people try to eliminate as much sugar as possible, or try to eliminate almost all added sugar?
Actually, what we try to encourage people to do is to make choices. What matters most to you? Okay. For example, if I have a young athlete who is very active, they're in after-school practices 4 to 5 days a week, they're playing a game on the weekend, then maybe one soda a week is not going to be a major issue. But if you have somebody who's drinking soda as their choice throughout the day, then that can become a problem. Great example, had a patient who was newly diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and as we kind of looked at what she was eating and drinking, saw that she was drinking 12-ounce cans of regular soda a day, which is a full case. Yeah. One of the first things that she did was she said, I'm going to quit these altogether. And she actually put the money that she was saving from not buying a case of soda a day into a savings account. And she found that in really just a little over a month, she had a couple of $100s saved up.
It's an expensive habit. Is it addictive? Do you find that people that take in a lot of sugar crave more sugar and want to continue doing it?
When you get accustomed to an intensely sweet taste, you like that, you prefer it. And that's one reason we really encourage parents and caregivers not to provide children with intensely sweetened beverages. Rather, try to give them water, give them diluted juices if they use juice at all. So that way they become accustomed to, a little bit less sweet, and also that carries over to food. When you are not choosing as many sweetened beverages, then you also tend to want foods that are not as intensely sweet as well. Had one patient who shared with me, she was actually managing gestational diabetes during her pregnancy, and she said, I found, my coworkers brought me a big cupcake as a treat right before I was about to deliver. And she said, I found I couldn't really even eat it. I had to leave part of it because she had become accustomed to less intensely sweet things as she was trying to manage her blood sugars during the pregnancy.
I've heard people like you who are smart about diet and about health and about sugar intake say, be sure and read the labels. I found when I read the label, I don't always get it. I go, okay, that's quite a bit of sugar. But I've seen people demonstrate, this is how much sugar, a pile of sugar is in this soft drink. Either way you get the information, you need to know that you're probably taking in more than you think.
Exactly, and you need to look at the label for anything that you eat or drink. Right now, up until about summer of 2018, and at that point the labels will change, but right now what we have available, you definitely need to look at the label. I encourage people to look at the calories, the number of servings per container, okay, and then the amount of carbohydrate, particularly if you're managing blood sugar, okay. And then another good tip is to always look at the ingredient list and see what is actually in that product. A great example are sugar-free coffee creamers. The second ingredient after water is sugar. It's only a sugar-free coffee creamer if you consume the serving that's on that product packaging. And that's unfortunately not what most of us do.
So the label is not misleading. It's got the information, but you need to know more than just
You
what it
need to know
says.
more. You need to know more. For example, whenever I teach a class or bring a patient into my office, I have an entire bag of products, and we look at the label just to show somebody what are you getting for the calories, for the carbohydrate. For example, if diabetes is an issue, is it worth it to you? And many times drinking your calories is not the smartest way to use them. I kind of relate it to, what would you spend your money on? We all want to get the biggest bang for our buck, food and beverage wise. And so it starts with looking at that label.
What about people that say, well, I'm going to get away from sugar by using sugar substitutes, diet, sweetened
Right.
drinks? Is that better than nothing? Is it a good first step, or are there downfalls to that as well?
It is a great first step. The question remains, though, as I said earlier, what do you crave? What do you want to eat when you drink those products? Okay, so typically I encourage people, if you are going to choose a diet carbonated beverage, always look at your snack choices with that. It may be a better idea to choose a non-carbonated beverage, and there are many options on the market. Or you can flavor water with sliced lemons, sliced limes, sliced oranges, and therefore get that flavor in another way.
I hardly ever drink sweetened drinks except when I'm having pizza. And twice now you referred to
Right.
what do you crave when you have that carbonated
Right,
drink?
exactly,
It's usually
exactly.
a pizza or pretzel or something that you should do.
They go hand in hand.
sparingly.
You don't want the apple, do you?
No, not with a, not with a soft drink.
No, you don't. You don't.
Where can we find more information about that? Does your website here at the Medical Center have some guidance for that? Can they Google sugar epidemic? Where do you send people for more information?
Within our state, we have a wonderful group. It's called the Alabama Obesity Task Force, and they actually a few years ago put out a campaign about rethinking your drink. And so their website is a wonderful one to share with individuals. They have some great posters for both children and adults that you can use, teachers can use in their classroom, or anyone can go and access the information. Also has some great information to back up why these sugar-sweetened beverages are a concern. Information from the American Academy of Pediatrics as well.
If people seek out that information and then follow the guidance, would a person in their 20s who would like to be healthier literally add years to their life, or at least be healthy as long as they live,
Right.
if they'll find those guidelines, stick with them? Will they actually get return on their investment if they do that?
Right. One of the best things that you can do, Mike, is to change out your drink, rethink it, as I said earlier. Because, ask yourself, for 200 calories, which is what I may have in a glass of sweetened tea, would I rather drink it or would I rather eat it? And I'd rather get more bang for my buck, calorie-wise.
That's simple enough, even I understand it.
Okay.
Suzanne, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time.